For the past year, international community has been unable to stop the devastation on the Gaza Strip. And now the entire Middle East is facing the crisis of conflict. The world is now paying the price for neglect the Palestine issue, which is rooted on a long history and has caused many sacrifices. Even if the conflict develops into the Middle East war involving Israel, Iran, Lebanon, and shakes the world's politics and economy, I must not focus only on the big war, but above all, I must put an end to the fighting in the Gaza Strip, which has become the flashpoint of the war, and prevent further tragedies from occurring. After overcoming this crisis, I strongly believe that we must now face the Palestinian issue squarely and work together to find the fundamental solution to the problems, even if it is so difficult that it becomes daunting fighting the worthy ability to achieve. On the other hand, Arab countries that have supported Palestine will also change. Except for Egypt, Jordan, all Arabic countries have taken the position that Israel would not be recognized until the Palestinian issue was solved. However, now, during the Trump administration, which has become hopeless to resume a peace negotiation, UAE belay and established diplomatic relations with Israel and rapid successions. Saudi Arabia, which now calls itself an Arab ally, is also said to be seeking to normalize the diplomatic relations with Israel, while the Palestinian issue was not moving at all. Israel thought that it could open the way for itself and international community if it could make peace with a part of the Arab world beyond Palestine. Trump was able to successfully facilitate this. This was followed by Sudan, Morocco, and other African Muslim countries. Ireland at the Ivory Coast, which said that Israel would not be recognized until the Palestinian issue was resolved, was broken. Palestinians were outraged, called it the betrayal. In some respect, it is commendable that Israel and some of the Arab countries have reconciled and that they have opened the gap in the confrontation. On the other hand, there was those who wonder whether the Palestinian issue should be left unresolved, which is both positive and negative aspect. Things have become more complicated. How have international organizations responded? Despite the best effort in UN agencies increasing humanitarian aid, U.S. defense Israel in the Security Council, where things are actually decided. Every time Israel invaded the Gaza Strip, the Arab countries and the UN Security Council tried to adopt a resolution condemning the invasion, but the U.S. vetoed the resolution and squashed it. Authority to refuse it to approval veto Israel's continued military attacks and the death of many people because of that. Since of the U.S. vetoed at the Security Council, current UN system would not be able to help the dire, desperate warnings situation in the region. The result of the world giving up on solving the Palestinian problem and continue to let the Israeli occupation continues with the massive attack on Israel by Hamas. 3,000 Hamas fighters rushed onto the Israeli side from the Gaza Strip, which had been blocked for years, carrying 1,200 people and taking over the 200 hostages in Gaza. Even Israel, which has been the victim of war and terrorism since its founding, had never experienced such a brutal massacre of so many of its citizens at once. And the incident caused a strong unrest throughout the country. Israel immediately embarked on unprecedented offensive against the Gaza Strip, which is the goal of destroying Hamas and rescuing the hostages. In the first month of the campaign, Israel launched air strikes so intense that they were said to be the heaviest since the Vietnam War, and then invaded with grounded troops to engage in urban warfare with Hamas, taking tremendous numbers of residents as collateral damages. The international community, which is the first accepted Israel would exercise its right to self-defense, began to condemn the seemingly indiscriminate attacks. Temporary ceasefires and the release of the hostages were achieved through the mediation of the various countries, but fighting is soon resumed. The death toll in the Gaza Strip exceeded over 40,000, including at least 16,000 children under the age of 18. In addition, as many as 300,000 children were malnourished due to the lack of relief supplies and polio, which caused paralysis in young children, was confirmed as a result of deteriorating the sanitary conditions. During this period, UN Security Council repeatedly voted on resolutions called for unconditional ceasefire, but the U.S. against defeated Israel and repeatedly exercised veto power. Many countries criticized the U.S. for its double standard, accusing Russia of violating international law in its military invasion of Ukraine, while at the same time condoning the wrong Israel's violation of international humanitarian law. In the U.S., protests against the military action spread to universities and other institutions, and the government stand and defense that Israel was called into question more than ever before. In a difficult situation, proposed a temporary ceasefire and the release of hostages and stages. However, Israel remained reluctant and willingness to accept a complete ceasefire until the very end. And Hamas, on the other hand, hardened its attitude after a top leader, Khamenei, was killed, and the attacks believed to have been carried out by Israeli intelligence in Iran, where he was staying the U.S. mediation effort ran into a completed deadlock. After a year in which the Palestinian issue took its most tragic turn ever, the flame of war and now spreading beyond the Gaza Strip to the entire Middle East. Palestine has been trying to establish as its future state territories along with the Gaza Strip, Jewish settlings has been further advanced during, and as many as 700 Palestinians have lost their lives due to military attacks and violence by the settlers. Neighboring Lebanon to the north, which has been fighting with Hamas for many years, also continue its cross-border attacks on Israel, prompting the Israeli military to invade its force in southern Lebanon and bomb the capital Beirut. Tensions between Israel and Iran, which has supported Hamas and Hezbollah, are also rising rapidly in response to Israel killing of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders one after another. Iran has twice launched large-scale other missile attacks on Israel, and both sides continue to exchange fire. Israel is now trying to open a three-pronged front, so to speak, that gather within neighboring Lebanon and Iran, its greatest nemesis. Israeli public thought about such words. Many people said Palestinians can no longer be trusted and cannot be given a state. We have no choice but to fight until all hostile forces are defeated. I sense that Israel public opinion has become more stubborn than ever.